Hey, aspiring author, have you ever felt like you were finally gaining momentum with your book and then life happened? Your schedule changed, you got tired, responsibilities piled up, and before you knew it, weeks, even months, or maybe even years pass without writing. Now you're feeling guilty, discouraged, and wondering if you'll ever finish your book. But what if I told you consistency does not mean writing every single day? In today's episode, we're talking about how to stay consistent writing your book, even when life gets busy, routines get interrupted, and things don't go according to plan. Ready to write your first book and make an impact? Do you wish you could organize your book ideas without feeling overwhelmed and actually find the time to write and finish your book? Hey, I'm Donna Cherie, a book writing coach and author. Welcome to Book Writing Made Simple. Inside this podcast, I'll teach you how to get a clear vision for your book idea, get organized, keep it simple, and develop a writing plan so you can finally get your book out into the world. Grab a notebook and pen with your favorite cup of tea. Hey, welcome back to Book Writing Made Simple. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we jump in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a new episode. And be sure to check out my catalog of episodes on your favorite listening platform. Don't forget to share the show with your BFF who also wants to write a book. I'm sure that this show will bless them and help them to write their book as well. So don't keep the information to yourself. Share it with a friend. And be sure to subscribe. Now, let's get into today's episode because I think this conversation is going to be very helpful on your book writing journey. I think one of the biggest misconceptions that aspiring authors believe is the thought of, if I'm not writing consistently every day, I'm failing. I'm not making any progress. And because of that mindset, the moment life interrupts their routine, they mentally quit. Now, it's not because you stop wanting to write, not because God changed his mind about the assignment he's giving you, but because you missed a few writing sessions and convinced yourself you were no longer consistent. So what's the point of writing? What's the point of continuing? And I really want to break that thinking today, that stinking thinking of I have to be writing every single day or else I'm not really making progress. Because consistency is not about perfection. Consistency is about staying committed to the vision, to the writing assignment, even when life happens. There have been seasons in my life where I couldn't write the way I wanted to. Life got busy, responsibilities increased, things shifted. And I had to learn that consistency didn't mean forcing myself into some unrealistic writing schedule that didn't fit my life. I had to be realistic about it. It meant learning how to stay connected to my writing assignment, even when my routine looked different, even when I thought I didn't have a lot of time or enough time. Sometimes consistency for me looked like writing just 2 hours per week. Other times it looked like reviewing my outline, organizing my thoughts, my paragraphs, or just writing a few paragraphs, sometimes even a few sentences during a very busy week or during a very busy season. But one thing I learned was this: I could not disappear from the writing process every time life became overwhelming, every time I felt like my life was too busy, because life will always happen. And as I talk about this frequently, life will always seem very busy. There will always be responsibilities. There will always be busy seasons. There will always be interruptions, distractions, and things that want to take our attention, and especially things that want to take our attention away from God, away from His plans and His purposes for our lives. And it's important that we become intentional and develop a level and a muscle of consistency to stay the course. And because life will, throw us curveballs and give us all sorts of things. That does not mean that your book has to completely stop. When your life gets busy, when there are interruptions and distractions and all sorts of responsibilities, it doesn't mean your book has to completely stop. And I think it's time to give yourself permission to adjust without abandoning the assignment altogether. It really breaks my heart when I hear someone say that they have been writing a book for 4 years, 10 years, or however long it takes, and they've had so many gaps in between. And now they're at a place if they don't even know if it's really worth writing their book. And that is so disheartening to me because I believe and I know that you can still write and finish your book to make a kingdom impact. So today, here are 4 ways to stay consistent writing your book, even when life happens. The first way is to stop defining consistency as writing every day. You can let that go out of your head. I know there's so many different book coaches out here or book gurus as they call themselves and experts that say, yeah, write for 30 minutes every single day. It'll keep your writing muscle going. And yes, that works for some, but I recognize that it does not work for all people based on their schedule, how their life is set up. And you shouldn't feel like a failure if you're unable to write every single day. So let's start here. Consistency does not mean writing 7 days a week, never missing a writing session, always feeling motivated to write, or sticking to a perfect schedule. That's unrealistic for so many people. Consistency is commitment over time. It's continuing to come back to the writing assignment. Even if your writing pace is slower than expected, it's okay. Missing a few writing sessions does not mean you fail. It means you're human. And I think you need to stop being so hard on yourself if you're not able to write every day. It is okay. I want to help you get free. It is okay. But however, I am not giving you a pass to stop writing completely, but you don't necessarily have to write every day. And I know that goes against the grain from other people out there who are in this space as well, helping people to write books. But you have to, of course, know yourself, know your schedule, and again, know that consistency is commitment over time. What you do over and over again becomes a habit. The second way to stay consistent writing your book, even when life happens, is to learn how to return quickly. This is probably the biggest key. The issue is not interruption. The issue is staying disconnected for too long afterward, letting weeks, months, or maybe even years pass you by before you return back to your manuscript. One busy week turns into 2 months, then 6 months, then another year passes. We don't want that to happen anymore. And it's not because you stopped desiring to write, because I know the desire to write is still there, but because you struggled to re-engage after life interrupted your routine. It interrupted your writing routine. And sometimes it's hard to get back into a writing habit, a writing schedule when there's been such a large gap of time. So instead of waiting until you feel quote unquote ready again, return small. You can review your outline, reread your last chapter, or reread your introduction, whatever you've written thus far. Organize your notes and write one paragraph. Just reconnect to your manuscript. Consistency is built in the return. So return quickly and then show up over and over and over again. That will help you even when life happens. The third way is to create a flexible writing routine. So, of course, we still have to have a writing routine even when life happens. We still have to have one, but it can be flexible. It doesn't have to be rigid. Your writing routine has to fit your real life, what is happening in your life right now, not your ideal life, not your perfect life. Because if your routine only works when everything is perfect, it's not sustainable at all. So create a writing routine with flexibility. Maybe during one season, you can write twice a week for whatever amount of time that looks like for you. Another season, you might only be able to write for 1 hour on a Saturday or a Sunday. That's okay. At least you're still writing. A lighter writing season is still a writing season, and we want to be able to stay in the writing flow by having a flexible writing routine. I want you to stop thinking, if I can't do a lot, if I can't write 5,000 words, I won't do anything. If I can't finish 3 chapters this week, I won't do anything. Something is always better than nothing. So stay in the groove, be flexible with your writing schedule, give yourself grace, and be consistent in that flexible writing schedule. The fourth way is to stay connected to the vision God gave you. What is the vision that God gave you for this book project? When people disconnect from the vision, they stop writing. So keep the vision before you. And this is something that I like to drill home a lot with the clients that I'm working with, or even just on this podcast, about making sure you have a vision laid out. What is the vision that God gave to you? And make sure that you keep it before you. I talk about having a book vision plan, and I'll link some episodes to that as well on how you can create a book vision plan for your book project. You can revisit your outline. That's a way to stay connected to the vision God gave you. Pray over your book. Pray over the progress that you've already made. Remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the dream that God gave you. Remind yourself of the God-given idea that He gave you for your book. Think about who your story or your message is supposed to help, who is supposed to uplift and inspire and transform their lives. Think about them. The reality is, your routine may get interrupted, but don't disconnect from the vision God gave you. Life happenings don't mean the assignment disappeared. It doesn't give you a pass not to fulfill the assignment, because we know life is always lifing. So to recap, the 4 ways that you can stay consistent writing your book even when life happens is: number 1, stop defining consistency as writing every day. 2, learn how to return quickly to your manuscript. 3, create a flexible writing routine that actually fits your real life. And 4, stay connected to the vision God gave you, that He gave you specifically. So if life has interrupted your writing routine recently, or you want to get back into writing your book again, I want you to stop carrying any guilt or shame related to it. I want you to stop holding yourself hostage and thinking that you can't proceed forward, because I want to reassure you and reaffirm you today that you can. Take a deep breath. Your book is still possible, and that desire is still there for you to write and finish your first book so that you can make a kingdom impact. You don't have to write perfectly to finish your book. You just have to keep returning and showing up over and over and over again until it's complete. I hope today that this message has encouraged you and challenged you how you think about consistency. Be sure to Take these ways that I've provided today, pray about it, ask God to reveal to you what are your next steps, what do you need to do, and proceed forward. Be obedient and take action. Make sure that you subscribe to the show if you haven't already, and check out other episodes, as again, the catalog is filled with lots of hours and hours available for you concerning book writing, and definitely providing you with Holy Spirit-led strategies to write your manuscript. So again, I hope this has blessed you, and until next time, ciao. Thanks for tuning in. I hope today's episode inspired you to take that next step to write your book. Remember, small steps lead to big results. If this podcast has blessed you in some way, be sure to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. Your support means the world to me, and it helps others to find the show. Also, be sure to pass on the inspiration by sharing this episode with a friend who could benefit from this message. God bless you, sis, and never, ever give up.